Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Nicolett Electra here and we are back with another video for you guys. Yes. So today I want to talk about something that honestly took me a very long time to figure out. And by very long time I say maybe a few years, but it did take me some time to figure out. From very little, I always had this idea of it's better in solitude. I love that line. It's a Greek song that was pretty famous. And I always thought like, yeah, you're right. It's better to be alone. It's better to be in solitude, do things on your own, to the point where I wanted this tattooed on my arm. And I luckily didn't, because I quickly realized, a few years later, realize the importance of having people around and having teams. So today I want to talk to you guys about the pros and cons of working with a team, and then at the end of the day, how to even get your team in the first place. It's something that I think is very important, and for anybody who's looking to either start photography or start really any kind of business, I think it's very important to have a group of individuals around you that have a vision that you feel and you want to be a part of. So that is going to be our topic of discussion today. If you're interested in growing your teams, do let me know and stick around. Keep on watching. And if you have been on my videos once, twice, 3 times, please go ahead and subscribe. I am here for you guys at least once a week. I'm still trying to figure out what day it is. Usually it's Tuesdays, usually it's Saturdays. Sometimes it's only one of those, but that is the goal. That is what we're doing. So yeah, subscribe. All right, back to it. When I started, I had the vision, like I said, of doing everything all by myself. That was the goal. Everything on your own. I started doing photography, and what I started to realize was that my photos weren't coming out the way that I wanted them to come out. I would have models or just individuals that I would photograph, and they would come in with makeup that looked subpar. They would have hairs that would be kind of going all over the place. They'd have just like patchy skin, all that stuff, and it wasn't a default of their own natural skin. It was a default of them just doing their makeup and it not looking good. And I remember being like, what? You know? And then the hair, the same thing. I would get lines of like, oh, you know, my hair's getting really like big and frizzy. You know, you can just fix it in Photoshop. I could, but that takes a long time. It's not what I want to do. So I decided from there, I wanted to learn hair and makeup as well, on top of doing photography work. So I ended up going to school for makeup artistry and getting certified for it. And then when it comes to hair, I ended up actually working at a hair salon and then just doing a lot of YouTube videos to see how to fix hair. From there, I did different shoots where I would also style. I would actually bring the props. I would do all of that type of stuff. And at the end of the day, it was a lot of work. I remember I had a few shoots that I did do that I literally did from top to bottom. I did the hair, I did the makeup. I did the makeup primarily. The hair I would kind of adjust, but I would do hair, makeup, I would do the set design, I would pick the props, I would find the clothes, I would do everything. And while I think that that is a absolutely great way to build your portfolio, because you're going to create things that focus around your vision and the types of works that you want to get, it is extremely exhausting. I remember every time I do those shoots, I would be very exhausted and there would be things that I would forget. So per se with like makeup, if I did makeup and if I did hair and I did all this stuff, by the time I get to photos, if there wasn't a list that I wrote down in advance, I wouldn't get certain shots that I want. So I might forget to do the up close beauty shots. I might forget to do a side angle or to do an angle of the fingers, or you know, whatever it is that I'm doing. I would forget to get those shots because I would get so overwhelmed by doing everything. So I came to the conclusion that, you know what, you need collaborators, you need people to work with, and it can't just be you all the time. And that was, I think, a turning point in my photography career thing once I realized that I needed help. I needed people to do other things for me as well. So then we jump into working with teams. I started kind of wrangling up my friends at first, and of course they would be my models, of course. And then I would also wrangle other friends who were interested in doing makeup. And that was one of the top ventures that I started off with, was makeup. And I had one friend, Vasilia, and she would do makeup for some of my shoots. I had another friend named Eugenia. She would do hair and makeup for other shoots. I had another talented friend, Todd, and Todd does amazing work as well. He helped me with some of my shoots, and I remember putting that work on them and allowing them to do their own creative stuff allowed me to be able to focus on photography and do my own creative stuff. And in order to make sure that it is beneficial for both of us, as far as, you know, when you make a shoot, you want to make sure that the photos come out good for both of you guys and it fits both of y'all's portfolios. So the way that I was able to do that was by creating mood boards and sometimes drawing out kind of a vision or showing them the clothes that I was planning on shooting with, showing the backgrounds, showing the locations, and that allowed the co-collaborators to see the vision of what I was thinking and then from there add feedback so that the photos came out in a way that all of us could use and have in our portfolios and be happy that we even had them in the first place. So I know what you're thinking at this point probably, and it is, well, you know, like I want to do photos or I want to work in a team, but how do I get a team? I don't know how to get a team. And it took me some time, I'm not gonna lie, to find people to work with, and even to this day I sometimes have a tough time finding people to work with. But it just takes, honestly, like openness and the willingness to reach out to people. The way that I started off doing it was Instagram. Instagram was a really big marketing tool for me in finding people to work with. So with Instagram, there's features that I'm sure everybody knows about, and that's hashtags. So if I was looking for a model, which at the time I was in Houston, I would look up Houston model, Houston, people in Houston, things like that. Houston makeup artist, Houston stylist, whatever. And from there, you can start filtering it out and saying, okay, let me look at this person. I like this person. I want to work with this person. Looking through more of their photos, making sure that they're actually based in your city, and then contacting them and saying, hey, yo, I would love to do a shoot. This is the type of shoot that I'm looking to do. Here's the mood board. Would you be interested in being a model for it? Would you be interested in being a makeup artist or a hairstylist for it, etc.? Another great source for finding people to work with is Craigslist. I did put up a few ads back in the day and even to this day about looking for co-collaborators, co-stylists, things of that sort to work with throughout my shoots. The other place that I have heard people use, and this could be really out of date, but I feel like I heard someone say this recently, and it's Model Mayhem. I never had good luck on Model Mayhem, to be honest, but I have heard that as well. But as far as marketing tools and finding people to work with, I would say Instagram has been the easiest way of doing that. Just because you can filter out your locations, you can filter out the types of people that you're looking for, the types of works that you want, just based off of people properly hashtagging their stuff. I think being based now in LA, I have a tough time with it, only because I literally did this and now I'm like mad that people do this, but I was in a different city and I would tag like LA photographer because that was where I would want to move, or New York City photographer. And then like I'm not even based there. I wasn't even based there. And now I see the same thing here. And it's like random Joe Blow Schmo who's in like Missouri is tagging LA photographer, LA makeup artist. And then you click on them and they're like not even in LA, they're in Missouri, but they want to be in LA and you're just like, dang it, no! So it is tough to find, but you know, you get there. You gotta do a lot of weaning, but you do find them. Other ways though, especially pre everything that's happened in this world, that you can also find people to work with is going out. So once it's okay and it's safe and events and all that stuff come back into place, that is another really great way to find people to work with. Makeup artists, hairstylists, stylists in general, models, whatever it is that you need. I know from a lot of events I have found people and ended up working with them months later and been just having a really great time with it, but that is something that isn't as doable now, but hopefully it is again in the future. But yeah, you know, those are my top ways that you can find co-collaborators to work with you in a team setting. Go on Craigslist, go on Model Mayhem, go on Instagram, all that stuff, and start developing your team. Start finding different people that you want to work with and just push forward with it and just go for it, because you know what, like working with a team is going to make things so much easier for yourselves, and it's going to help you push the boundaries and go further. If you stick to doing everything by yourself, I don't think it's a bad thing. I do think that you can get some really quality stuff from it, but I also do think that it is pretty hard to do, and it is tough to be consistent with, because you do get burned out fairly quickly, fairly easily, and you tend to forget things. So it's important. It's important finding a team, especially a team that fits your vision and fits really all of y'all's visions and where it is that you want to go. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys sticking it out. And again, if you guys want to see more from me, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click that notification, follow me on Instagram, all of that type of stuff, so that you can see more from me on a daily basis. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week. See ya!